Visit app.seesaw.me to get to the login screen for Seesaw. Choose I'm a Teacher and log in with your Google account. Once you are logged in, choose the class that you are working on. In your class, you're able to give feedback to student work. First, let's look at a setting you may want to enable by clicking on the wrench icon. There is a setting called New Items Require Approval underneath Students. Enabling this setting means that students cannot add work that is immediately visible to all. First, it must be approved by teachers. If you turn this on, you will be able to approve students' work before it's shown to others. Let's look at an example assignment that was turned in from an activity. Here you can see I have a notification of an assignment that needs approval. I can click on Review to open the activity. Here I can view the activity and the directions, as well as see all of the activities that were submitted by my students. Again, I can click on Review to see the activity submitted by a single student. Once I open this activity, I can see what was submitted, check the responses, and then I can scroll down to the bottom where I have a couple of different options. I can like. If this is just a simple post and I just want to show that I've seen it, I can click the like button. I can also leave a comment. Remember, depending on your settings, if you allow students to see each other's work, then if I leave a comment on this student's work, anybody is able to see this comment as well. So with the comment feature, you may want to be careful about what you say. Down at the bottom here, you can see there is the opportunity to fully approve an assignment or to send it back. If I'm going to send this assignment back for a student to work on, I can leave a comment and give very specific instructions. For example, I see here that 2 plus 3 is not 6. So I can leave a comment for my student, letting them know what they need to fix. Again, I can do it with text or with a recording, and then I can send this assignment back to the student. That means they are the only one who will see this comment. Now, when the student fixes their mistake and returns their work, I can go in, delete my previous comment, approve, and then when students see each other's work, they'll no longer see the comment about what was corrected on here. Other options I have is a teacher private note. This is just for me to take notes for myself. Students will not get to see this. So if I gave students a correction, such as fixing 2 plus 3, I can leave myself a private note to remember that even after the student has corrected it. I can also assign skills. So if I have put skills in, I can rate this assignment based on the skill. I can add it to a folder, or I can publish it to the blog. Another option you have as the teacher is over here you see these 3 dots. I can actually click and edit the item. So I can actually go into the student's assignments and I can put in an edit on here. So if I would like to, I can change my color. I can maybe circle where I find a problem and leave a note for my student, such as count carefully. And I can put this down here. And then I want to come back up and click this button that says draft. That's the same thing as sending it back to my student. So if I click on draft, it's going to send back. Now notice, I can only use draft if we are using the one-to-one or the email sign-in mode for our class settings. So I'm going to save this as a draft, and it's going to send back to my student. So again, I can view their draft, but I need to wait for the student to go in and make the correction. My student will get notified that they need to finish their response, that it's been put back to a draft. So they can open up their activity, they can see where I need to check, they can even edit what I've done and use this eraser tool, and they can fix their mistake if you would like them to go back and fix their mistake. So they can pick their pencil and they can fix 2 plus 3 and they can submit this back to their teacher. And now it says they're waiting for the teacher to approve. And back on my teacher site, I can see again, I've got a response waiting for my approval. I can come in and review. I can see that it's been corrected. And so now, if I've already done my liking, my commenting, I can approve this, or if it's something inappropriate, I can delete. So I'm going to approve this activity. And now I can go back and I can continue to see if there were other students that completed this activity. So again, there are some settings you might consider when you're doing your work with your students. You can turn student likes and comments on and off, so I can allow students to like each other work or just for the teacher to do likes. I can even allow students to give comments to each other. Again, I would put this on that I have to approve their comments before they go through, but I can allow students to give each other feedback. And that only works, right, if I am allowing my students to see each other's work. If I have students can see each other's work turned off, then they're not going to be able to see anything to like and comment on. So those are some settings you might consider for your class. Along with giving written feedback in the form of comments or editing work, you can also attach skills to different work. And skills lets you use different standards to rate your students' work based on how they are developing over time. Now, the skills tags can only be seen by the teachers. So if you are using the skills tags, students will not be able to see how you've tagged them. However, if you're having a parent-teacher conference, you could pull up a student's tags on your teacher end and share with them how the student is growing over time. One last way to give feedback is again to use the private messaging feature for your families. So if you have families attached to your students, you can private message a parent to give more individual feedback that will only be seen by that family and not all of the students in your class.